The name of the place is Ardgour, and it's about 150 kilometres from Charleville and about 50 kilometres from Cunnamulla. We've got 8,300 hectares inside the boundary fence. We find this southwest Queensland country ideal for cattle and carbon. They both work so well together, and that's what Paneeri is all about. Well, previous to 2016, it was run commercially as a sheep and a wool growing property. A lot of the outbuildings and the old wool shed and stuff you can see was great once and is not now. It's just lack of use and lack of people living here. It was very obvious that it needed a spell, a rest. The country needed to regenerate. We saw a great opportunity to have a carbon project and also work with the Queensland Government to introduce the wildlife refuge.
So in establishing the Nature Refuge, we've applied for funding under the Nature Assist program, which is the Queensland Government's program for landholders that establish nature refuges on their property. So the Nature Assist program involves removing 45 kilometres of internal fencing. We're doing some fire break clearing around the perimeter of the property, and that's around 37 kilometres of boundary clearing, which will really protect the natural assets on site, and doing cultural and environmental surveys as well. Ardgour Station is dominant with the Mulga regional ecosystem on site, but we've got some really special habitat features here, which are the wetlands. They're part of the Wyandra-Cunnamulla claypans aggregation, and they're really important because they're listed under the Directory of Important Wetlands of Australia. Also, they're ephemeral wetlands, so in times of inundation, they'll become special habitat areas for water birds, and we're hoping that they come back to life as part of the Nature Refuge project. We've engaged ecologists that are accredited under the Accounting for Nature framework, and that's really going to give us critical data for the flora and the fauna on site.
So we're collecting baseline data of all different stratas of vegetation, which can be used to score the site out of 10. We're able to see where the land is deficient, so that can also allow them to have a look at methods that they can use to get a better uplift in the land, and it allows them to really target areas that are failing.
We're really going to be able to see what we've got here, and then when we come back to some of those critical points that we've surveyed, we'll be able to see, well, how has the species improved over time? Do we have more diversity of species? And we'll be able to see what kind of habitat we're creating in country and what fauna we have coming back onto the property.
Nature refuges are an agreement between the landholder and the state government that are looking at sustainable practices. So we're trying to look at cohabitational use rather than just one form of use. And there has been a lot of success in it. It's pretty important considering we have, food security, we've got nature issues, we've got decline in species, and just allowing someone to come in here and still work the land but work it in a sustainable manner, which allows improvement of the ecosystems and habitat, which is a pretty special thing.
If you're working together with all of the stakeholders, you can manage land more effectively. So I think it's really important to send that message that it's about carbon, cattle and conservation. It's all of the mix that makes holistic land management.